Yo, what's up guys, Boss here, and I'm back on the YouTube video, and this time we're going to be playing some top ladder using 2.9 RG cycle. So I don't know if you guys have seen this deck going around the last couple of days, but there's this league called No Tilt. It's basically a competitive league, a lot of CRL players are in it, and a lot of good players in general. And this deck, the last 2 days, has been used a ton in that league and has had a very solid win rate. And I think the reason why this deck is so strong is because the Goblin Cage obviously is one of the best buildings in the game right now, with the Goblin Hut, Barb Hut getting a nerf, and then of course the Cage getting a buff because the Brawler does more damage now. Royal Delivery is just so good on defense. I mean, it does really good versus things like Hog Riders, Balloons, and just anything in general because of the pushback, and it just has so much defensive capability, and especially Royal Hogs too. It's very good versus them since the Delivery does splash and just does more damage now, so it's just a great card in general. And Firecracker is really annoying for other people to deal with. I feel like Magic Archer could work in this deck too, but Firecracker makes the cycle a bit faster, and I feel like it's easier to stack Firecrackers than it is to stack Magic Archers because it's 3 elixir instead of 4. And then Skeletons are kind of for cycle bats as well, and then Earthquake, so you're able to break through buildings such as Bomb Tower, or just if you're trying to get chip on the other person's tower, it can be good, and just to slow units in general, and it's also a solid graveyard counter. So let's go ahead and search for the first game. You also have Heal Spirit to heal things up. We're top 1,000 right now. Let's try to get to at least 6,300 and see what we're going up against here the first game. So because the cycle's quite fast, you're always going to be making the first move, whether that's being, you know, just bats in the back, skeletons in the back, Firecracker in the back, or even Goblin Cage in the middle. All are okay starting plays. He's going to have a Firecracker, and he's also going to have Royal Hogs. So I'm not sure what this is yet, but I wanted to get rid of that Firecracker there, so I just went with a Heal Spirit, cleaned it up pretty easily. He's going to get a little bit of damage, overall not too bad. He's also going to have Mini P.E.K.K.A. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is still a very strong card, even after that range nerf. I still think it's going to be very viable. We'll see here what he wants to do for this Firecracker. Looks like he's going to Earthquake it, same thing that I did to his. And we're just going to go ahead and set up a Goblin Cage, because now his Earthquake is out of rotation. So we'll see here what he wants to do. He's just going to cycle an Ice Golem in the back. Because he has his Mini P.E.K.K.A. out of cycle, I'm actually going to go ahead and play an RG at the bridge. And he did end up getting back to Mini P.E.K.K.A. after playing a Firecracker, but he had to spend Elixir before he got back to it, and as a result, the RG actually got a couple hits in on his tower, which was pretty solid. And the King Tower ended up getting activated. I didn't even know that was going to happen, but I guess I forget what it was. Maybe it was the Brawler actually allowed that King to be activated because Firecracker was in range, and Delivery comes down on those Royal Hogs, dealing so much damage. And once again, we can just set up another Goblin Cage here. Even though he doesn't have the Royal Hogs in cycle, I think it's just good to set up a cage. And he's going to go ahead and Earthquake, so I actually think our best bet here is because his Firecracker and Ice Golem are out of rotation. Let's go RG and Bats, because he does have Ice Spirit. That doesn't hit all of them, and Heal Spirit heals the RG back up, allowing the RG once again to get 2 hits on top of his tower. And we have a pretty close game right now. I'm going to go Delivery. I was worried he was going to go Royal Hogs, so I kind of did that in case he ended up going in for Royal Hogs, because that would have ended up preventing almost all damage that the Royal Hogs would have gotten. But he's going to go for them now, and he's going to get quite a bit of damage, but we're going to have a nice counter push opportunity because we have an RG coming in here, and this is time for us to go for an Earthquake on offense now to slow the tower, and that actually ends up allowing the wow, okay, I'm a little surprised you went for Earthquake there. That was quite an aggressive play. So we're gonna Earthquake here because he went so aggressive himself, and RG once again gets 2 hits on his tower. Almost picked up a third. We're gonna completely ignore that Mini P.E.K.K.A. Royal Hogs get pushed back onto the cage, and once again, aggressive Earthquake, so it's again time for us to go aggressive. If we Earthquake and just get 1 RG hit, we end up winning the game. If the RG doesn't get a hit, it means we need to cycle back to another Earthquake. RG doesn't end up picking up the hit we need, and we're actually forced to defend the Mini P.E.K.K.A. this time around. but he needs a log to finish the game off. Log is not in cycle, so we actually end up taking this one. We almost lost. Mini P.E.K.K.A. is a great counter to the RG, so that's why the game was so close. He's able to go for 4 elixir Mini P.E.K.K.A. every time we play a 6 elixir RG, and if he's like logging it back and stuff, playing Ice Spirits, it prevents our RG from getting the damage we're looking for, and that's what made the game really close. But we ended up winning in the end. We had some good Heal Spirits and Earthquakes to slow down the Mini P.E.K.K.A., allowing our RG to get 2 hits in some cases, and that's why just the Earthquake is such a great card just for the tower chip and slowing down units. It's very useful. So we're 850th in the world, 1 game off of 6,300. Let's search for the next one, see if we can get it. And we're gonna be versus Gabri here. So let's go for a Goblin Cage to start the game off. It's a really good starting play, really safe. It forces them to make a move. He's just gonna go for a log, hitting nothing except our tower. So, and he's gonna zap. So he just used 4 elixir. Only thing he's getting out of it is spell damage. And honestly, with our cage up, I'm fine going for an RG here, really aggressive, because you know he didn't get much value there at all out of his spells, and just I knew if we're aggressive, it's going to force a lot of elixir out of him. In worst case scenario, he defends it and doesn't take much damage, but he's not going to be able to counter push, because after I just went aggressive like that, we're pretty even on elixir right now, and look at how much damage we dealt to his tower. We're just in great position. I'm still unsure what he's using, because he's got barbarians. It's almost like a funky Expo deck, it looks like, but I don't think it can be Expo if he has barbarians and just zap. It's a little strange. So he's gonna have I mean, it could be Expo. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm a little confused, I have to say. I think once again we can get a nice Earthquake off. We have the Earthquake also hitting the archers. Heal Spirit, he can't play barbs. If he does, it gets healed up, the RG and the Brawler, because Heal Spirit hit the barbs, and oh my goodness, just like that, we have such a good lead. These bats are probably, ooh, good Royal Delivery opportunity. Does it hit the archers? No, it doesn't, but it hit the barbarians and tanks for the archers a little bit, and the tower can just finish it off. I think now we're going to be down a couple of elixir, so we're going to see if he's going to try to punish us here. He gives us the wall played. Obviously, he's not in the best situation right now. Once again, I'm unsure what his win condition is. Looks like he's got an RG of his own, so that makes a bit of sense. I can definitely see the RG fitting in his deck. Log is going to mean he's not going to have that for the Firecracker. So, RG, Zap, Tesla. Very interesting, for sure. Where is he going to play that Tesla? Once again, he plays it so we can Earthquake both the tower and the Tesla. He needs to be playing it, like, right there in the middle. That's the only way we can't Earthquake it in the tower, but obviously he has not been doing that, which has been costing him, a ton of damage on his tower. And there we go. That's what I was talking about. That's the Tesla placement he's looking for, because when he plays it like that, I cannot Earthquake both the Tesla and the tower. So that was nicely played on his end. That's what he should have been doing earlier in the game. But for whatever reason, he's going to cycle an RG in the back, and as you guys know, my cycle is just so quick. I think we just cycled 3 Earthquakes on his tower, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think he has the time. He fireballs nothing. I think he knows it's over too, because our cycle is just so quick. And we get another Earthquake off, and the RG only has time to get a single shot on our tower, so it wasn't even close. We were just easily able to cycle 3 Earthquakes, because our deck is 2.9. When we don't use the RG, it's more like probably 2.5. Our just cycle is so quick that we can just keep spamming stuff, and that's why this Earthquake dealing more damage can come in clutch in so many cases now, because with it doing almost 300 damage, 2 Earthquakes is like 600, 3 is almost 900, 3 is probably about, 890 damage, probably something like that. Or, let me check. Yeah, so 3 Earthquakes is going to do 297 damage, I believe, if I have that right. So, yeah, it really does add up. And we're 668th now. Let's claim these rewards. We're already getting pretty close to tier 35. I think there should be 50 tiers, personally. especially on 35-day seasons. Maybe on 28-day seasons there doesn't have to be, but I think on 35-day seasons there definitely should be 50 tiers, but this season was only 28 days, so I don't know. Alright, reverse 07 here. Let's give him good luck. See what he wants to do. We could probably just go for Goblin Cage again to start this game off. And we have skeletons ready if he wants to try to... Ooh, that was interesting balloon. Surprised he didn't play it on the... I'm surprised he didn't play it like behind the chain to bypass. It looks like he just... And unfortunately the death bomb is going to hit our firecracker. So balloon's definitely going to be quite interesting. I mean, we do have some good answers for it, and our cycle should be faster than his, especially if he's going to be using like a lava loon deck. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, we're going to go RG and we're going to go bats. We're going to see what he wants to do here. We're going to have firecracker at the ready. We're going to go heal spirit. If he plays anything, the RG gets healed up, and he's going to go inferno drag. So, this is where things get a little interesting. I mean, I don't know if Goblin Cage is a good play on a Lava Hound. I bet you he has arrows. And if he does, then this is kind of bad. I have a feeling he has arrows. It's either arrows or fireball. He's going to go for the balloon. We need to go for a very high Goblin Cage. And he gets, very nice arrows off there. And I don't think we cannot stop the balloon. It will prevent it from taking the tower, but there wasn't really much we could have done there to stop that balloon. We're going to try to prevent him, though, from him finishing off the tower, so he's forced to play, arrows or something to finish it off. I think we RG here at the bridge and see what he does. He's going to go... Oh, my goodness. Okay, this is a tough matchup. He's got barbarians, and he also has inferno drag. And he has arrows for a firecracker. Tough matchup. I think if this were like, a normal Lava Hound deck, like Lava Loon with Fireball Zap, wouldn't be nearly as bad. But it's like when they have, when they have arrows, I should have played Royal Delivery, but I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't really expecting that to happen. Like, I wasn't expecting him to go minor and that all to kind of play out the way it did. I clearly was not expecting that to happen there. We definitely, I think, wouldn't necessarily say we got unlucky, but we just kind of I was just not expecting what was coming, I guess is the best way to put it. So I think we definitely lose this one here. Not really too, I think there's no shame with this loss. I really do think it's tough because arrows are a great response to the firecracker, and with him having the zap as well for the bats, it's even trade for both our air counters, and we do, have the Goblin Cage and Delivery, which are decent, but when he has those barbs, for RG as well as the Inferno Drag, which we don't ever set for, it's almost as if his deck is meant to beat ours in a way. Obviously not. He probably uses that deck a lot, but it almost seems that way because he has arrows for a firecracker, zap for our bats, barbarians and inferno drag for our RG, and then of course the balloon, which when we have our firecracker get arrowed or bats get zapped, we don't really have any answers for. So that was for sure a tough one, but let's move on to the next game, and we're gonna verse Tygo here. So again, we have Goblin Cage, which we can start the game off with. We can play it kind of higher, making sure that if he has Royal Hugs or the Hog, it will end up going for the Goblin Cage, and he's going to be using the Goblin Cage as well. So curious to see if maybe this is going to be a mirror matchup, or if he's going to be using Royal Hog's Goblin Cage, or maybe Balloon Goblin Cage. There's just a lot of Goblin Cage decks going around right now, and with him having Skeletons and Firecracker, definitely could be a mirror matchup. We're going to go ahead and Earthquake here. He has the same idea, and we'll see if both of our firecrackers cancel each other out, and they do indeed. So in mirror matchups, you typically want to be pretty aggressive, especially since we have both our Goblin Cage and Delivery and Cycle, which are amazing defensive cards, and just, I imagine we're going to have a really easy time defending if he counter pushes, and that's, exactly what happened. After he defended us, he went for a counter push, but we stopped it really easily, And hopefully we get the king activated here. Did I mess that up? No, that should activate. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, obviously versus RG, king activation isn't as useful, but no matter what deck you verse, even Expo, if you can get an easy king activation, you might as well take it. I mean, because of course he has the, you know, the Goblin Brawler, and just, you never know. You never know. It could be useful. It's not like it's completely useless. So obviously versus RG, it's not as beneficial, but you never know what's going to happen. So we're going to go Earthquake here just to kind of cycle, and unfortunately that might activate. Ooh, it was close, didn't activate. Wow, so once again, really aggressive play on his end. He decides to Firecracker shouldn't get any damage. Okay, that worked out nicely. We still have the lead here going into double. It's a pretty close game for sure. I think we want to go RG in the back now. Probably would have been better to play it in the back opposite lane, but you know, actually I'm not sure because we already have a lot of damage in the left lane. It's kind of hard to say. But this is definitely a valuable Earthquake there for us, and we actually end up taking out his Firecracker, so potentially big mistake on his end. And we have 2 RGs down. Heal Spirit's going to heal up the RG in front. He's going to probably delivery to try to save himself here, but I actually think he gave up. Yeah, he knew it was over. There was nothing he could have done there when we got that second RG down. And with us having that really nice Firecracker at the bridge, killing his Firecracker that was behind the RG, and also him wasting that Earthquake. I forget what he Earthquaked, but he didn't Earthquake my Firecracker, which meant mine just got so much value, and it was too much for him, completely overwhelmed him, and he already gave up. He didn't even bother defending. I think when he saw that second RG, he knew it was over, and there was just nothing he could have done, because Heal Spirit came in, healed everything up, so it's kind of what you want to do versus the mirror matchup. I feel like you want to be playing it pretty aggressively, and as long as you have a Goblin Cage, as well as a Royal Delivery and Cycle, there's really no way they're going to be able to break through against you. It's just all based off of who's using their Earthquake, Firecracker, and of course the RG better. Knowing when to go in for an RG, when you want to be playing it in the back. I think playing RG in the back is very important in that matchup, because you're kind of in double, especially in a mirror. You probably want to be building up a big push that they can't stop, and that's kind of what I did there. So yeah, another nice win, putting us back to 6,300, and we're gonna verse Gabby here. So we could start off splitting skeletons, because we don't end up having a Goblin Cage in rotation. So now that we have it in rotation and he's not doing anything, we might as well just Goblin Cage. See now if he's going to do something, and he's going to go for a Mega Minion. So Mega Minion is used in a few different decks. Could be Golem, could be Giant, and it could be Lava Hound as well, because he has that Miner. So for sure this is going to be interesting. I think I was going to be aggressive, but after seeing that Prince, wouldn't have been a good idea to play an RG right into a Prince. He did just use his Zap, though. I think we should get a Goblin Cage up. This is looking more and more like Giant. He has the Prince, he has the Zap. We already saw the Mega Minion and Miner, so chances are this is probably going to be Giant double Prince. Royal Delivery is going to get a lot of value in this matchup. Nice King activation on his end will actually give him the well played, but little does he know it is going to end up being RG, which obviously means that King activation isn't going to be as beneficial. But I do go for an RG, mostly because I wanted to keep that Firecracker alive. Of course, it's a little aggressive, and actually now I might have a little bit of trouble on defense, but this Royal Delivery is going to get so much value, which you guys are about to see. It's going to kill the Ewiz, and it's going to severely damage the Mega Minion, allowing the tower to finish it off really easily. So yeah, this matchup's definitely going to be interesting for sure. I think the Firecracker is going to cause a lot of trouble for him. It's going to get a lot of value. But at the same time, our Earthquake, of course, isn't going to get as much value since he doesn't have a building. But with that being said, we can, of course, use it to Earthquake Cycle at the end, or slow down the Ewiz Prince if he uses it on defense. But we'll just kind of have to see how this plays out. He's going to go for a Prince in the back. Right now, we need to kind of set up defense. We're not going to be going in for any kind of push until we stop this. And this Royal Delivery is going to get so much value. It's going to hit the Mega Minion. It's going to help on defense. We're going to go for a Goblin Cage here. We know the Giant's already dead, but I just kind of want to cycle it, get one down. We're going to go for Skeletons, keep the cage alive just a little longer. And then we're actually going to go ahead and RG in the back. I feel like in this matchup, we don't want RG at the bridge. But with that being said, we have to... Ooh, I didn't really want that firecracker to die, that's for sure. So, Royal Delivery here to clean things up. And I changed my mind about no RGs at the bridge. I actually think we need to go RG at the bridge. Once again, just the fireball value this guy's getting is absolutely insane, and that's what's really helping him out this game. But even with that, all that fireball value, we got an insane connection, allowing us to actually end up taking the lead. And now it's time to fall back a little bit, play defense. We got the damage we needed to. We're going to go bats here. He's going to giant in the back, so I don't think we want to go for RG in the back. I think we want to do what we did before. We want to play defense, and finally when we can go for the counter push, that's when we'll RG, but we need to first get a good defense going. So I think we want to skeletons, and once that dies, I think we just set up another goblin cage, honestly. I think we'll cycle an earthquake here. I really think we need to try to be getting damage on his tower. And we can't be going in for... Ooh, he fireball but missed the firecracker. That could be a critical mistake. Royal Delivery is going to get value here against this Mega Minion as well as the Prince. It's also going to help take care of the Giant. And now, guys, it's time to go in because he missed the fireball. Clearly, the firecracker's gotten so much value, just allowing us to go in for an RG push finally. But we need to watch out for these Princes here. They're starting to overwhelm us. In fact, I need to go for a cage just kind of as a... just not necessarily desperation, but as insurance kind of to make sure they don't break through. And we get a nice win here versus Giant Double Prince. I think... I don't know what that matchup is, but the Royal Delivery, Skeletons, Firecracker, and Goblin Cage all get so much value. Obviously, we need to be really careful when we're going in for RGs in that match, but I just feel like with just our defensive capability, just the Royal Delivery and Cage combination is just absolutely insane. And and then, you know, once you defend, you counter push. So we make it to 6340, which is top 500. I think this is a good place to stop. How many games was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we got 5 good games in. That deck, I think, is pretty good in the meta, although Mini P.E.K.K.A... Maybe Barbs would be better for Mini P.E.K.K.A because of the Mini P.E.K.K.A nerf, and Barbs are better versus Graveyard, and Heal Spirit for Ice Spirit. Interesting RG deck, though, but that deck's going to be meta, and Giant Double Prince might be decent in the meta, too. So we got a lot of good games in. So yeah, that'll be it. Make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And let me know what you guys want to see next. Maybe I'll play a GC video. I haven't done a GC video, and I guess it's been only like a week or a week and a half. But yeah, I have a bunch of other decks like I've been testing out. Do you guys want me to use that Rage Heal Spirit Sparky deck? I could use that. I like using Sparky decks, and that deck is... well, not only fun to play, but also, you know, very, very low skill, so it's kind of nice to play it sometimes. But, yeah, that's going to be it. Thanks again. Until next time, guys.